there's still nothing. This waiting is just maddening.
I'm sure just as soon as they have any news about your father, they'll tell us.
I suppose so. I wonder how many irate relatives they have to deal with every year.
A lot more than I'd have the patience for, I assure you.
Mother, you can handle anything.
Oh, Miriam, I wish that were true. I certainly haven't handled this situation very well. As I told you, I no longer love your father. I'm not sure that I ever did. I certainly didn't want this to happen to him.
It's not your fault.
Isn't it? Isn't the fact that I have returned into yours and your father's life that caused him to have this heart attack?
No, of course it isn't. Because whatever happened to Daddy it's a result of his own negligence, but not anything you did.
I seem to have been the immediate catalyst.
Are you really holding yourself responsible for this? You can't, Mother.
Miriam, I can't get it out of my mind, that picture of the agony on your father's face when he saw me in the crowd.
Well, that was a coincidence. If anyone was to blame besides Daddy, it was Nancy.
How did this Nancy Lawson get so involved in your lives?
It was really Daddy's and my fault. We had more to blame than anyone. Because after you left, everything just started falling apart between us.
I had no idea that I was such a stabilizing effect on the two of you.
Well, you were. After you were gone, we started just attacking each other incessantly. I was accusing him of letting me down, and he was accusing me of being too dependent.
Both of which could prove to be correct.
Exactly. And see, in the midst of all this finger-pointing came Nancy Lawson.
How?
Well, it was purely by chance. I met her at a job interview, and she sized up the situation quickly between Daddy and me and decided to move in right from there.
I just really disappointed in your father. Nancy seems so obvious in her intentions.
Well, she is. She was, and she still is. There's no beating around the bush with Nancy. She just identifies her objective and makes a straight line for it. See, that's it. Everything about her has been obvious, but Daddy still could not seem to see it.
I just can't believe it. Your father always had an ulterior motive in everything he did and in everyone he used.
Well, Daddy wasn't the philandering type. Or was he?
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. They say the wife is always the last to know.
Oh, no, I'm sure he wasn't.
How do you know?
Well, I wasn't exactly an angel in that area, so I know the type. He definitely wasn't one of them.
Charles was always interested in other matters. But, now, why do you bring that up now?
Well, see, I think that it was his inexperience that gave Nancy such a foothold in his life.
But, Miriam, he used her also.
Well, she certainly got more out of it than he did.
He's simply paying the price for his choice.
Mother, I paid that price, too. I just wasn't mature about anything in my life, and I couldn't handle things, so she just picked right up on that, and helped to make me dependent on her, and manipulated that dependence into drugs. Oh, Mary. I told you all about that.
You were so lucky that you got out of this alive.
I know. See, Nancy just capitalized on all of our weaknesses just one at a time at a point when we were very vulnerable. And I know that that was really our fault. See, it just shows more about who we are, Daddy and I, Then about Nancy.
Please, will you sit down and let's discuss this thing sensibly?
I've had it with talking. I'm not going to talk anymore because time's running out and so am I.
Listen, if you go now, you're just gonna get a fraction of what you could get if you stay.
Yeah, you're right. You know, this isn't exactly worth $50,000, is it, Nancy, huh? But it's a heck of a lot more than you're going to get.
Charles is not gonna die.
Well, you just keep telling yourself that. Just keep believing it.
Give me that ring.
No, sorry. No. And if you're through now, excuse me, I'm going to go pack.
Listen, you can't leave now. Look, I'll make a deal with you. If you stay, I'll give you $100,000.
Ah, great, $100,000. Why don't you make it $1 million while you're at it? Throw in a few stock options from Hollister Mall.
Tab, look, I'm serious.
You're just grasping at straws, Nancy. That's a promise you cannot keep. It's hardly a good persuader.
But if Charles lives, then I can keep that promise.
That's an awfully big if, Nancy, huh? Besides, you know, I have this strange feeling in me that if he does live, that somehow your services aren't going to be wanted around here anymore. Listen carefully. Out of my many talents, one of them's knowing when to shove off, and the time is right now. I suggest to you that you hightail it out of here, too.
Well, but look, if he lives, then there'll be a lot of money for both of us. We can
No,
both
Nancy,
get-
I just said, so what if he lives? Think. He comes home, he sees no diamond ring, huh? Isn't he going to get a little suspicious? Your jewelry's all gone. What's he going to think then? And the missus is back into the picture. Have you forgotten about her? Do you think she's just going to stand around here and watch you rip off all the old boy's wealth? You can stay if you want, but I'm taking it all. All of it.
Please, Tab, don't do this to me. Tab? Tab? Good. Ignore me again. Hello, operator. Get me the police. This is an emergency. Yes, hello. May I speak with Sergeant John Brubaker, please, and hurry. Sergeant Brubaker, this is Nancy Lawson. Yeah, that's right. Listen, you gotta help me. Someone's trying to steal my jewelry.
Terry, I heard the news on the radio. Mrs. Carpenter.
Hello, Mrs. Davidson. How are you?
Fine, but I'm sorry about what happened.
Thank you.
Look, we're going to do everything we can to see that your father's comfortable here at the hospital.
Oh, thank you. That's thoughtful.
I'm sorry for staring. It's just that I'm so surprised to see you again.
Yes, apparently Miriam's father felt the same way. Oh, if I had known that my coming back to Kingsley would have caused all this chaos, I never would have made the trip.
No, please don't say that. I am so glad you came back. Terry, isn't there anything you can do about finding out how Daddy is? They won't tell us anything.
Well, that's because there's nothing to tell. I just talked to the nurse myself. And Dr. Greeley is still with him. And Alex is very good, and he's very considerate of patients' families. So he will talk to you personally as soon as there's something to report.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now look. I know that this is tough, but we're all here to help you. It won't be too much longer.
Now I'm the one who's doing the staring.
Why?
Well, when I left, you two were certainly not the best of friends and never likely to be for that matter.
Well, things do change.
Oh, that's certainly true.
And suddenly, here you are.
That's a long story.
I have a feeling we may have time for it, too.
Later, perhaps.
I understand.
Oh, I was very sorry to hear about your daughter.
Thank you.
Is there any news of her condition?
Still no change, I'm afraid.
And what's the outlook for her future?
Well, at this point, we really don't know. We are hoping and praying for the best, of course, but in the meantime, I must admit it's been very hard on all of us.
You were gonna do what?
Oh, it's no big deal. We were just gonna
You know, have her jab that Lawson broad in the leg with a pin and have her jump up yelling and prove what a fake she is.
That's dishonest.
You and Miriam both sound alike.
Well, I hope so. I take it she didn't agree with you.
Nah, not really. I stuck a large hat pin in her purse just in case she changed her mind, but I think she's gonna chicken out.
Well, chicken out makes good sense to me.
Well, somebody's got to give that broad what's coming to her.
Well, believe you me, she'll get her just rewards eventually. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Why should he have all the fun?
Honestly. Hello?
Ione, hi, it's me, Miriam.
Oh, it's your partner in crime.
What? What's that?
Oh, nothing. I've just been let in on the plot to let Nancy Lawson get hers while hundreds watch, that's all. Really, Miriam?
Look, I didn't have anything to do with that.
Well, at least one person around here's got some sense.
Listen, something's happened, and, I'm here at the hospital.
Hospital? Well, why?
It's Daddy. He's had a heart attack.
Heart attack? Oh, merciful heavens. Well, is he all right?
I don't know. We don't even know yet.
Well, is he still alive?
Yes, I guess he's still alive.
Oh, well, how are you holding up, sweetheart?
I'm doing as well as can be expected, I guess.
Well, I'll come down.
No, wait, just, it's really not necessary. Mother is here, and Terry Davidson's here.
Mother? Your mother?
Yeah, it's really incredible. She came to the mall opening. I don't quite understand it all myself either.
Oh, well, it sounds like you've been through enough in one afternoon to keep your head spinning for a month.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the way I feel. Listen, I just called to tell you what's going on so you wouldn't worry.
Well, if you think I'm not worrying about you, you got another thing coming.
Well, Ione, you know what I mean.
Listen, honey, I just feel so bad sitting right here while you're down there going through all of that. If you don't mind, Miriam, let me come down.
Well, if you really want to.
Oh, I want to, honey. I'll be right down.
Okay, I'll talk to you then.
Heart attack. Oh, can you believe that?
See, maybe I should go too.
Well, if you want to. But do you think it's wise?
Oh.
Well, it's up to you.
Oh, maybe you're right. Just my luck, Ronnie or Lance would spot me. Maybe I should do what Harold says and stay holed up here.
Well, honey, if I'm not home for dinner, there's some leftover beef stew in the refrigerator. And fix yourself a salad.
You just give Mary my best, okay?
I will now. You just lock the door and you'll be fine.
Yeah, don't worry. What could go wrong?
He robbed me. Yes, well, he's just left. His name is Barron, Thomas Barron. And he's driving a brown Maverick with a license plate that says TAB, T-A-B. Yeah, well, can you do something? Okay, all right, thank you. All right, okay, thank you. Thank you.
Who are you on the phone with?
I thought you had left.
Who was on the phone, Nancy?
Well, the hospital. I was calling about Charles, of course.
And?
Well, they wouldn't give out that kind of information over the phone.
Oh, it's too bad. Looks like you'll have to hop in your little car and take your little caboose down to the hospital and just walk right in.
What do you have in that bag?
Oh, it's just a nice little assortment of odds and ends. Most of it's yours.
Give me that. That's all I have left.
Had left, Nancy. Had left, huh? Want to go 2 out of 3 falls? Come on, huh?
Just get out of here, will you?
Hey, that's the first request that you've ever given me I'm really happy to comply with. How about a little goodbye kiss?
Oh, you disgust me.
Oh, I can live with the insults. Mwah.
That's the last thing you get from me.
Okay, Nancy. It's all right. You don't fool me a bit, huh? You know something? I think I'm the only man to ever really satisfy you. You know that? And it's too bad. It's too bad circumstances are preventing us from getting together just when things are getting kind of hot, you know?
I hope they'd lock you up and throw away the key.
Don't worry about that. Don't count on it, because they're not going to ever get me.
What makes you so sure?
You're not about to turn me in. You kidding? Because you know what I'll do to you if you ever do that. Goodbye, loser.
Miriam, honey.
Oh, I'm so glad you decided to come.
Oh, just your saying no wouldn't be enough to keep me away.
I should have known better than to try.
Just you remember that in the future.
Well, listen, Mother, I want you to meet Ione Redlin. This is my mother, Helen Carpenter.
Well, I'm very pleased to meet you.
Not as pleased as I am to meet you. Miriam's told me so much about you since she came to live with me.
To live with you?
Oh, yes, Ione is my landlady. Well, I guess I could say it more accurately that I am her ministry.
Oh, nonsense. I get as much out of the arrangement as she does.
If I had not believed that you changed before, I certainly believe it now. Well, I'm surprised your father didn't have a heart attack sooner.
I think he almost did when he found out.
Well, I'm very proud of you for sticking to your guns.
Miriam, Mrs. Carpenter.
Oh, Dr. Greeley, how's Daddy?
Well, he's resting comfortably now.
Will he live?
Well, would you rather discuss this in private?
No, Ione and Terry, their family.
Fine.
Well, is he going to live, Doctor?
Well, he's stabilized now, and he's out of danger for the time being.
The time being, does that mean that he's going to be having problems again in the near future?
No, what I mean by that is, I think he's going to need open heart surgery.
Oh, no.
It's serious, Miriam, but it's been done many times.
Yes, it has.
When, Dr. Greeley?
Well, let's back up for just a bit. I said I think he may need the open heart surgery. But what we need to do first is a cardiac catheterization.
What's that?
Well, it's a procedure that enables us to determine just how extensive the damage is. We stick a tube into the patient's arm and we work it down into his heart.
That's horrible.
It sounds much worse than it really is.
Yes. Without going into all the details, along with the help of some dyes and x-rays, we determine exactly where the blockage is.
And then you do the surgery.
Yes, we do a CABG. That's a coronary artery bypass graft. We take a vein from your father's leg and we actually graft it across the obstruction on the surface of the heart. I'm not going to mislead you. This is very serious major surgery. In your father's case, we would actually take the heart out of the body and work on it while he's attached to a heart-lung machine.
How soon before all this happens, Doctor?
Well, generally, the catheterization is done 2 to 3 months after the heart attack, but I'm not sure. In this case, we'll just have to see how Charles responds to the treatment. We may have to do it much sooner than that.
Is it possible for me to see my father?
He's sleeping right now. Yes, but I think you might see him for a moment. You just tell the nurse at the desk of the cardiac care unit to admit you to the room on my authorization.
Oh, okay, thank you. Mother?
Yes, dear. I'll come.
Thank you.
And after the surgery?
Well, you know as well as I do. Bypass operation is not a guarantee of long life.
Mom? Anybody?
In here, Jean.
Where's everyone?
Did you hear the news? Didn't you listen to the radio on the way home?
No, what's up?
Miriam's father had a heart attack at the opening of his new mall.
What?
Yeah, Miriam called a while back, and your mother went down to be with her at the hospital.
Wait, now, back up a minute here. Now, when did all this happen?
Earlier this afternoon.
At Hollister Mall?
Yeah, right when he was cutting the ribbon.
Well, is he all right? He's gonna live?
Oh, I don't know.
And Miriam called, right?
Yeah.
So what did she say?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Well, try, Babs, come on.
Hey, come on. I mean, you're acting like I'm trying to hold something back.
Oh, look, I'm sorry. That's probably my reporter instinct coming out in me.
Yeah, I bet you always got your story, too, didn't you?
I'm gonna get this one, too.
Hey, wait a minute. You gonna go to the hospital just like that?
Well, Mom's at the hospital, right?
Yeah.
There's my excuse. Catch you later, lady.
Yeah, catch you later.
It's nice of you to come. I know Miriam appreciated it.
Well, I think I'll get up to the CCU myself. After they've seen Charles, they might have some questions.
I'll talk to you later.
Fine. Mrs. Redland, so nice seeing you again.
Oh, and let's hope the next time it'll be under much more pleasant circumstances.
I hope so.
Well, at least one good thing has come out of all of this. Miriam and her mother seem to have firmly reestablished their relationship.
Oh, I tell you, it does my heart good to see such a reunion as that. Oh, and in no time at all, Laurie's gonna be back with you. I just know it.
Carla, too?
Well, it's a little easier to be optimistic about other people's problems, but yes, Carla too.
Why, Ione? We've spent most of our lives sacrificing for our children. Why? Is that worth so little in God's eyes? Does he really expect us to give up so easily the loved ones he's put in our care?
They may be beyond our reach, Terry, but they're still within his.
If he is so intent on keeping me out of the picture, then I wish he would just do something about the pain that I feel every time I think about Laurie and about this feeling of hopelessness I can't get rid of. Is that so much to ask?
And I tell you, then Miriam decided to spend the night at King's Arms with her mother.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. You know, we talked about her mother a couple of times. I'm glad she finally found her.
You know, she seems like such a lovely woman.
Yeah? I wonder how she finally wound up with you-know-who. Sorry. Hey, did you see Gene today?
Sure did. You know, he ran in there asking a million questions.
Boy, you should have seen him on this end. I mean, he must have been a heck of a reporter. He was like a different guy.
Oh, he certainly was, honey. He surely was.
So what happened?
Well, circumstances forced him out of it, and then he just kind of lost his nerve. But I think he's getting it back again. Now, let's hope he'll see that there are as many opportunities here in Kingsley as anywhere else.